Hello and welcome to my allotment diary. This is my plot and you can see I've just recently taken over it. There's just a few weeds, as you can see. So what I want to do is just introduce you to my plot, show you what I've got here, and basically talk to you a little bit about what's going on down here. Now, over this end, there you can see that's just some of the weeds I've taken out so far. You can see there's quite a lot. These will eventually go into a compost heap, and the solid stalks, you can see if we come up over here, you can see in the corner there, just about make out there, some giant turnips I think they were, or possibly Swedes, looking at them. But you can see they've produced these lovely yellow flowers which the bees liked, but unfortunately they're absolutely no good for eating, so they've had to come up and they're going to go on here. Now the woody stems and the bottom part there, the actual Swede itself, they're absolutely no good. So they're going to be put into a black plastic bag and eventually taken to the tip when I get round to it, along with all the other debris. I found some polytunnels there as well. And you can see there are some raised beds. I'm not 100% sure. They're made out of telegraph poles, so I'm a bit concerned about some of the chemicals in them, but they're very well entrenched, so they're going to be quite difficult to remove. Certainly this year I won't have time, but maybe over winter I'll be able to. Now in the corner here, this is going to become a compost heap, and you see there's two pallets there. They will both have plastic stapled to them, and then I will acquire some more pallets very shortly which will be put around them, which will make 2 bays. So basically I'll fill one, turn it, and that's the way it's going to work. Now here we have my potato bed, and there are potatoes in here, believe it or not, but unfortunately I haven't decided to poke the heads up just yet. I've been quite late planting things for various reasons this year, so unfortunately they're not up yet. They were earlies, but I'm late, so they're not early anymore. But they will come up, and oh, let's just wander over here. Now you can see this is another bed I've been clearing. This at the back there, just over there, where you see it's slightly clearer than the rest of it, there was a whole load of Swiss chard and things like that over there, so gigantic ones. They're a good sort of 5 feet tall, well past their prime unfortunately, but there was some fresh leaves which I managed to get off, and we've used those. They were very nice. You can see just there we have a rogue leek. I don't quite know where that's come from. But never mind, it will get dug up. You can see if I just turn it this way, you can see I'm working my way up to it there. I'm just clearing this here. Now what you can see here is the person who had the allotment before me left a sort of space between the beds, which was basically left to go to weeds. Now that's all well and good, but unfortunately weeds spread. And what had happened is what was probably quite a nice sort of foot wide path between the beds turned into this unholy mess you can see up here, which is basically full of there's dock leaves, I can see buttercups, there's some dandelions and grass and all sorts, and it's spread out from sort of a foot to a good sort of 2-3 feet in places. And unfortunately, you know, yes, you need paths between your beds, but leaving them go to weed perhaps isn't the best thing you can do, because obviously you can see there it's spread. So I mean, I'm going to leave some paths this year, and it's just going to be soil, but what I'll do next year is perhaps get some decking and or some more pallets, break the pallets up and use those to make a floor across here between them, so that sort of the beds are marked out. I mean, these telegraph poles are quite nice, so again I could do something like that and just put 2 sets of telegraph poles next to each other, so that they form sort of a good sort of foot wide gap, and I can walk along those. Now if we go down here, here's a rosemary, and you can just about see in there there's a couple of little flowers. There's another couple down there. I absolutely love rosemary, so that was quite a find. I do have to rescue it from the weeds there, and as we go down we can see there's a lot more in there. Now there we have a potato plant left over from last year that will come up. I don't want the potatoes to be there. This is going to be something else. You can see there's a vague outline of a bed there, so I'm going to try and find that. There's another bed here. You can see there's quite a lot in there, and there's some just come around this side. You can see there's some broad beans there. They're flowering nicely. They were overwintered and discovered on this plot, so I'll probably leave those in place. There's only a couple, not taking up a lot of room. You can see there's quite a few black bags scattered around. These all have horse manure in. It's not rotted enough really, but I'll leave it in there. It'll rot for a few more weeks. Then dig it in well. It'll be fine. It's not going to damage anything. Here's a bed I've already started some work on. You can see it's relatively clear, so that's going to come up again very shortly. If we go down here, we've got a rhubarb here that I transplanted. I've got 4 more of these to go in, and I've got another one elsewhere, so rather a lot of those. And if we make our way carefully over the back here, amongst the nettles just here, and there's one there. Yeah, I'll show you the leaves here. This is a goji berry plant. Bizarrely enough, I found these in Aldi, and they're only a couple of pounds each, so I thought it was worth picking them up. So I've got 2 of those, and then that's a thornless blackberry. So that's it's only small, but it'll be trained to grow upwards. Over here, you can see these things here. These are parsnips. I don't know if we can get quite down to the base, but down there's giant parsnips in the ground, so that's rather good. And you can see up here they're currently going to flower, which is a shame, but there's loads of these on here, so I've been picking them over the last couple of weeks and using them. They've made for some tasty snacks. Now let's try and get out of here without breaking my neck. You can see, again, I don't quite know what was going on here, but there's strawberries down the side there, so there's quite a few more over here as well, over that way. So I will rescue all those and build a planter for them. Unfortunately over here, just there's blackberries, so I don't quite know where these brambles have come from, but I don't want them on the allotment. They're a real pain, particularly those type, so they're going to all come up. And over here we've got some raspberries, quite a lot of those. They're rather tasty too. And then just over there you can see there's an apple tree, which is just started flowering. And then here we have, let's just zoom out so you can see better. That's a green gage tree, which I managed to find, which I'm rather pleased about. And you can just see there it's starting to bud, which is rather pleasant. So you can see there's all sorts on there, absolutely every type of weed you can imagine. And bizarrely enough, you can see there's some of the, there's one, if I just zoom in there, that's one of the giant swedes that I found. But basically the flowers, you can see some of the flowers there, they're a good sort of 6-7 feet tall. So they've all come up, just basically to make the allotment look a bit tidier whilst I deal with the rest of it. But you can see there's an awful lot here. As we go across again, more weeds, more weeds, more weeds. What we're getting now, I haven't done a lot of work here. I've been quite busy. I've got down here and started on it now. And you can see, I've dug all this, and there's a nice pot full of, bucket full of stones there. The amount of stones in this ground is absolutely dreadful. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't believe how many are here. The allotment plot used to be the site of a field hospital in World War II. So it's actually been quite an interesting archaeological dig almost for many of us here. We found a lot of pottery, a lot of building materials. There were some buildings on here that have been demolished, and there's a lot of the rubble still in the soil. We found spoons with soldiers' initials on, bits of tin can, nails, belt buckles, all sorts have been found here. So it's actually been quite interesting, and the village we're in has a local historical society that preserves all this and keeps track of the history of the village. So some of the people who have found things have given it to the local history society, who obviously are recording it and keeping it for future posterity. But what's jobs down here at the moment is this area here, from just there over to sort of that line along there. That's going to be dug today. and I'm going to whack my late potatoes in there, which obviously are very late, but that's fine. They'll just be ready sort of September, end of September time instead of towards the beginning, so that's not too much of a problem. I'm going to clear that, and then probably just clear this next bit here, get that cleared, then I can get some onions in there. Again, they are later than I'd like them to be, but they'll still come up and be ready. So they're the primary jobs for today. I do have lots of seeds at home, which I'll show you in other videos. They're all coming up very nicely, so they're going to have to come down here, so it's actually quite a priority to clear here now. Now I've actually got two allotments. This one's going to be sort of potatoes, onions, and then I'm going to have along here brassicas, carrots, parsnips, peas, and so on. My other and part of this allotment is going to be turned into sort of pretty much a fruit producing allotment. The other allotment is going to be concentrating on pumpkins this year. I've got a few pumpkins planted. They're Atlantic giants, so they're really, really big. So I grew one last year. It was about 117 pounds, I think it was, in weight. So I'm aiming to beat that this year. So I've got plenty of manure, as you can see. All those black bags are full of manure. So there's plenty of chicken manure as well, which I can bring up and put on. So I'm going to be digging the big holes and filling them full of manure and burying the pumpkins on top of those. So that's really exciting. I'll keep you updated on those, as I love growing them. And I will show you my recipes for pumpkin pie and pumpkin soup, which if you've never ever tried, you really, really ought to. But that's enough of a break for me to record this video for you. I'm going to get back to my digging and clear along that stretch there. So I want to clear across from there to there, and then go across to about here. That bit there shouldn't be too hard to weed. As I said, that was covered in Swiss chard and rainbow chard, so it's actually going to be quite easy to clear, to keep the ground quite clear. So I'm going to get on with that, and please leave me any comments or questions, and I will update you with another allotment diary shortly, and hopefully we'll show you planting the potatoes on this spot of the ground very, very soon. I'm hoping to get them in this afternoon, but if we look up at the sky, you can see, if I just, there's some big black clouds looming. We had hail yesterday, so who knows what it's going to do today, but if I can get down, these potatoes will be going in here. I'll show you the potatoes as well. They're a nice variety, purple all the way through. They're absolutely delicious, so I'll show you all about those as well. But enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment, and you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/owninganallotment, or at www.owninganallotment.com. Please come and join me, and I'm on Google Plus and Twitter as well, similar name, so come and find me and leave me some comments, have a chat, and tell me about your plot and what you're doing, and I'll keep you updated and show you this pristine plot very soon. And obviously my giant compost heap will be under construction shortly as well.